Lil Durk is in a lot of trouble. He's been arrested for an alleged hit for hire on Quando Rondo's life from a 2022 incident where men opened fire on Quando Rondo's car, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, survived, but his cousin did not. Allegedly, this hit was linked to OTF, Only the Family, hip hop label, and Lil Durk. In this video, let's talk about all the striking allegations and everything we need to know so far about the Lil Durk situation, which appears more complicated than originally thought. I wanted to make this video because the situation around Lil Durk and things like this happening around hip hop matter to me and what they mean for the culture. This news saddens me personally because, putting aside the severity of all the allegations, this adds another stain on hip hop, with rap icons being taken down or taken out every month. Whether people like it or not, Lil Durk could be seen as a rap icon and an inspiration to the youth. He's recently been given the keys to neighborhoods in Chicago, villages of Broadview and Bellwood in Chicago, by Mayor Katrina Thompson, who became the first African-American female mayor of Broadview. Yes, these were recently rescinded a few days later because of the allegations, and that's what makes this all very confusing. Recently, we've seen Diddy go down for alleged trafficking charges, Young Thug for alleged RICO charges, the deaths of XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD, Nipsey Hussle, and the list goes on. These rap icons at one point or another are seen as our heroes, people who have made it out of the slums and have achieved semblance of financial success that give youth some hope. Now we see Lil Durk, who rose from poverty in Chicago to a Grammy for Best Melodic Rap Performance in this song All My Life alongside J. Cole, being accused of a hit for hire on another rapper. And the sentiments lead me to Instagram comments that are conflicting. One person saying, having money, like I mean real money, and still being involved in criminal activity is beyond me, which to me seems to paint an easy broad stroke on Lil Durk, kind of what people do to the hip hop culture and people who come from impoverished neighborhoods. It's one broad stroke. And then this other reply, I really hate this for him, and innocent until proven guilty. To me, this tells another side of the story, that there's deeper pain behind the accusations, and some people are praying that Durk is innocent. This all seems to have started on the night of November 6, 2020, when rapper King Von, Lil Durk's close friend, was shot allegedly by a member of Quando Rondo's entourage, Lil Tim, during a physical altercation in front of a hookah lounge in Atlanta between Quando Rondo and King Von. And there have been different rumors circulating that perhaps King Von was actually shot by the police during the altercation and not Lil Tim, because while Lil Tim, whom was originally arrested for the shooting, he posted bond and he was released, he was still pending a trial. But in August of 2023, his lawyer mentioned that the charges were dropped and the case was dismissed, which left the investigation of King Von's death at a standstill and people wondering what really happened and what are going to be the consequences of all this. The internet was up in arms since Von's passing, leaving comments that Lil Durk should slide for Von or retaliate over King Von's death. Then this takes us to another fateful day in August of 2022. Quando Rondo was getting gas at La Cienega and Beverly Boulevards across the street from the Beverly Center in a black Escalade. And right when they finished pumping gas, several suspects, as of now allegedly part of OTF linked to Lil Durk, got out of a car and opened fire on Quando Rondo's car, which he survived, but left his cousin Lil Pub gone. Quando Rondo was left completely distraught and in shambles on the scene, and there are clips of him really losing, as anyone would be if they went through something like that. Now, the links obviously to OTF and Lil Durk are alleged. This is what's coming up now in terms of the accusations. And this shooting is now being reported as an alleged retaliatory shooting for the death of King Von from 2020. Shortly after the 2022 shooting, some people are now speculating through a YouTuber DJ Vlad interview that Quando Rondo may have been set up by his own people, and that since that situation, he is resigning from his prior lifestyle and any gang affiliations. And of recent, it's been mentioned that he's become Muslim. It also appears through some of these clips from DJ Vlad that Wack 100 is insinuating or speculating that Quando Rondo's location that day was leaked by someone who must have knew him, the gang affiliation, and potentially a rapper named Brick Baby. And this is all alleged for OTF to get retaliation for King Von, which Lil Durk is being charged for now. Wack 100 in the DJ Vlad interview says that at some point Brick Baby came out and said, I guess they can't say that OTF didn't slide for King Von anymore, and that he was picked up by the feds, and that reports say that someone local was dropping Quando Rondo's location, and that shortly after the shooting, Quando Rondo denounces his affiliations, which DJ Vlad hints are the same affiliations as Brick Baby. And a lot of this is like insinuations. They're not fully clear, made from the clip by Whack 100, and things that people are speculating on. It does seem very strange that Quando Rondo from Atlanta would get shot in LA by people from Chicago who allegedly took a flight from Chicago to LA at the time. So if this is all true, it does seem that there's some strange things here at play to have something like that happen. Now, we know that Lil Durk was celebrating this birthday concert, and it was like a massive concert that people all over the web were talking about. He was recently given the keys, honorary keys to neighborhoods in Chicago. He was reviving his practice of Islam and preaching positivity for the youth. And then suddenly, days later, after all these positive, amazing things, we see charges that come out that Lil Durk is being accused of being the head leader, hit for hire, on an attempt for Quando Rondo's life. So as for the charges themselves, there's statements that say that Banks is the leader of a Chicago-based rap collective known as Only the Family, or OTF, mentioning that OTF is an association that commits crimes at the direction of Lil Durk. And they say, quote unquote, based on evidence collected during the investigation, including the interview of witnesses, I know that Banks put a monetary bounty out for an individual with whom Banks was feuding named TB. Now, they use TB, and we know that Quando Rondo's real name is Taekwon Bowman. Some of the statements say that co-conspirator 1 texted co-conspirator 3, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Overt Act says on August 19, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TB's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. The images below show defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TB's black Escalade. Also says, shortly after making these arrests and executing the search warrant on October 24th, the FBI received notifications from U.S. Customs and Border Protection showing that Banks had been booked as a passenger on 2 international flights, a one-way flight from Miami to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Banks did not board either flight. The FBI received an additional CBP notification that Banks had been booked as a passenger on a private plane departing Miami and destined for Italy, scheduled to depart at approximately 9 p.m. And at approximately 8 p.m., Banks was arrested by law enforcement in the vicinity of the departing airport. Here's the thing. A lot of people have tried to speculate that he was trying to flee. He was trying to go to Dubai. But apparently there's some reports that mention that those countries extradite people to the US. Countries like Italy, Switzerland, Dubai, if America asked or there was some allegations or accusations of these sort of crimes, they would send that person straight to America. So it seems that Lil Durk may not have been really trying to flee. These were just flights. As of now, there doesn't seem to be any full clarity that Lil Durk is behind everything. A lot of it is statements and things trying to implicate him. So more is likely to come or get unraveled to incriminate Lil Durk, such as potential witnesses, snitches, people wearing a wire, etc. As of now, that seems to be the gist of things, but more will likely come. Now, those texts and things like that, I don't believe are enough. It could be that Lil Durk was just warning people, whatever you guys do, don't put my name on it. I don't want any parts of whatever y'all are going to do. All that has to be unraveled and asked, well, what was Lil Durk talking about here? And did he know anything? And that is, of course, if there isn't a wire, right, that has Durk completely implicated in all of this, that says something specific. As the documents seem to hint at, that maybe that he was more involved, rumors of an alleged witness or a snitch may come into play, and speculating that someone named OTF Jam could be someone who is informing on Lil Durk. Interviews and videos of this person named OTF Jam have resurfaced with him discussing how he went to jail for an attempted murder charge for 12 years and was released seemingly around 2022, and that Lil Durk was giving him money during his sentence and potentially holding him down during and after his release. There are also videos surfacing of OTF Jam and Lil Durk together. Also, another photo has surfaced of OTF Jam looking into a security camera eating McDonald's in what appears to be an interrogation room, for which internet comments have speculated things like, damn, he snitched over some Mickey D's. What I've also heard is that investigators typically do get people they talk to some food to reward them and create a more comfortable environment to start talking. So is that the case right now? We don't know for sure. A few things in my research I found strange were 2 things surrounding this. As of now, I personally had a difficult time finding OTF Jam's real name along the internet while I was doing my research, which could potentially be a form of protecting him. I don't know. That's just a guess on my part. But then another thing struck me was something he said in the resurfaced video of him bragging on his support that he was receiving from Lil Durk. In his video, which appears to be from 2023, OTF Jam says he did his time, and I found it strange when asked why he had to do 12 years. So he said, quote unquote, I went to jail for attempted murder. It was more than that, but that's what I did my time for.
Why did you have to sit down for 12?
I went to jail for attempt.
Okay.
Attempt murder. It was more than that, but shit, that's what I did my time for.
Okay.
Attempt. You know, street shit.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't fully clear, but it hints that allegedly he had a charge for worse, or he had more charges. It's not fully clear, but that it could have been reduced for whatever reason. Now, if that's the case, what would be the reason for it to be reduced is my question. Maybe because there wasn't enough evidence, or maybe a deal was struck at the time. Could he have been released early in order to cooperate? All just guesses. His release from jail does appear to be in 2022 because he says that he was released about a year prior. The interview seems around 2023. A year prior would be 2022, right around the Quando Rondo incident, the shooting. If he is an alleged witness, as the internet comments are alleging, is it possible he was released early to try to inform more on the Quando Rondo shooting incident? And they want him to be connected with Durk to kind of get some more information. These are all alleged, all just guesses. There's also a video with Durk and OTF Jam of Durk saying, that boy did 12 years, so much money. So they are linked together. Now, because of this OTF Jam situation, which of course it's all alleged, we don't know for sure what's going on, time is gonna tell, but the internet jokes surrounding OTF Jam have definitely been getting heated with comedian Drewski doing a skit of someone getting out of jail, talking to all his friends, throwing around a wire and the hidden police badge.
Trey, I ain't seen your ass in a minute, bro.
What's up, nigga?
You still be cracking cards, nigga?
Hell no.
You still be cracking cards? Bank cards? Y'all be safe. You know 12 out here.
And I have to say, this does add some humor and some lightness to the challenges and difficulties around the situation. I thought were kind of funny. And comedian Bubba, who I actually had a chance to see live at one point, he's joking about how proud he is to be a snitch and snitch on people just to get his own success. This is the inherent problem with making it out of the hood, but still having or keeping ties with old friends. I wanted to speak on this issue of Durk giving OTF Jam money while he was in jail. And some people may say in the comments that that's stupid. Why would he give money to this person and connect himself with these people? If we look at ties to OTF Jam as an isolated thing, is giving OTF Jam money while he was in jail and after something Lil Durk can actually get away from? Let's say that Durk has nothing to do with anything related to OTF Jam. Giving him money or supporting him financially would make no sense, right? But let's say Durk can be implicated in something from years ago with OTF Jam. This is all just speculation. He would have to give him something in order to dissuade him from snitching on him or implicating him in anything. That doesn't mean the person wouldn't eventually become a witness if he's motivated by more money or less jail time or other benefits. But I would think that Lil Durk, given this person who is in jail for attempted murder, money directly could be an issue and something that could raise the eyebrows of the feds. If he truly is a witness, is it possible that the feds saw him getting money from Durk and said, let's go talk to this guy. If we can get him to flip, he will be Durk's right-hand man and can get us more info on what happened to Quando Rondo. And remember, the Quando Rondo incident and the release of OTF Jam from his sentencing seem to be within the same year, 2022. And this is all alleged. And that, again, doesn't have to be the case. It can be that Lil Durk, who comes from the streets and tried to keep his old friends up with him, is truly just trying to help his friends who are getting themselves into trouble. And as a side note, is that something so horrible in and of itself? It seems like a difficult situation to be put in, to come from the streets and start achieving such financial success, but also try to maintain this image of, this street rapper. Also try to still be connected with people you might have grown up with, right? It seems like a catch-22. But did Lil Durk intentionally, truly put a hit on Quando Rondo, or is he just being implicated to be taken down just because they found some ties he had with these people? Deep down, it does just seem strange that Lil Durk, with such a rise to money and fame, would intentionally be a part of a hit for hire. Clips have even surfaced of Walo in his interview with Lil Durk, of Walo pleading with Durk to stay away from any retaliation for Vaughn, and explains how he also lost his brother and how he had to try so hard to avoid any retaliation, but doing so is what has given him the ability to be as successful as he is today. And he was tearing up, and it was a really deep, emotional interview.
I forgave my brother's killer, and I'm saying it to say this.
Nigga that killed my brother. My brother died in my grandma's arms. That fucking house that we grew up in. He shot my brother. He ran to the house. He died in Nanny Hall when she opened the door. So I'm telling you, there's some real shit, man. If I ain't let that shit go, I won't be right here today. I won't be here for my niece and my nephews. Me and Gil won't be doing this. Y'all won't know me. I won't be able to get y'all this game. I had to let that shit go. When I let that shit go, nigga, I started to grow. And I started to glow. And now I'm here today, and it was hard in the mother.
Then in 2023, a clip of Akademiks and Durk also surfaced of Akademiks asking Durk if he's triggered by the quote-unquote slide for Vaughn comments.
I'm triggered by the slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why.
But one interpretation is that he's saying those comments have gone away on purpose. There's a reason why those comments gone away. Although he says it must be in the water. He's being really vague. Now, if this is the case, right? We don't know, right? He's being vague. But if it's the case that it's gone away on purpose, it doesn't mean he was a part of it, right? It could just be that there was some get back for Vaughn's death that he heard about, and that's it. And he's just saying, there was retaliation, and that's why those comments stopped. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally don't think Durk should be celebrating in any type of way if it led to such horrible consequences. But all of this is all confusing and doesn't necessarily implicate him for sure, right? If you come from the streets, can it truly be avoided? Is avoiding retaliation really possible for someone who is originally from the streets? And is avoiding retaliation a morally fair sentiment to give to someone or to place on someone? Our entire society thrives on a jail system where if you commit a crime, you are punished. And if you commit murder, you are punished potentially with life in prison or even the death penalty. So what recompense do you expect for people in the streets who face hardships and crimes against them for which the perpetrators are not held accountable necessarily? The government itself punishes people and is retaliatory in nature based on the law system. I'm not saying that system is necessarily completely wrong because I don't know what our society would look like if the government didn't punish those who committed crimes against others. But then I ask, in a street world where people don't necessarily get the benefits, they don't get to reap the benefits of that system. Crimes happen and people don't tell on each other, or they don't get caught because it's frowned upon to talk to the police, or there's fear of retaliation from the people around you for whatever, if you do this, if you do that. How do you get recompense or any solace from crimes committed against you or your family members, except to take recompense in your own hands? Now, I'm not suggesting any of that. I'm just questioning rhetorically, what should people from the streets do? Can this Lil Durk situation be avoided if it's true? But back to Quando Rondo specifically, this is another reason that made me question the train of thought of Durk or the guiltiness of the Durk allegations in the first place. Because why attack Quando Rondo? He wasn't the one who shot Vaughn. Lil Tim was allegedly the one who shot at Vaughn. I would never wish violence at all. But logically, if it's a retaliatory plot, why not attack Lil Tim? Like, why wasn't the plot against him? Why Quando Rondo? And that is what also makes me question how all this ties to Lil Durk, unless there are things behind the scenes we don't know about, which I assume are going to end up coming to light at some point soon. While Lil Durk was given honorary keys to the city for which a report says he donated money to which potentially may be returned, Complex reports that Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson took back the honorary key, which was given to him days before the allegations, and ended the partnership with Lil Durk's nonprofit association, Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. She said, quote unquote, while the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, in the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior. Given the news that Lil Durk Banks has been arrested in Florida and charged with murder for hire, the village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk and is terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization, Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. Now, all this stuff really leads me to question. I'm just saddened about the whole situation because these sentiments show that you're not innocent until proven guilty, but you're guilty until proven innocent. The charges, the allegations themselves is making the mayor take back all this and even disconnect the partnership that they were going to create with this youth organization. I would say that could it be that they could keep the honorary key with Lil Durk and say, you know, it'll be given back if he's found guilty. That's just one other question. Another thing I found interesting was how the mayor of Chicago was questioned about Durk's allegations and how he responded, kind of giving a semblance of hope or not, or this more so this feeling of innocent until proven guilty.
Right now we have allegations, right, that he has not been tried. And look, I understand the question. I don't want you to think I don't understand the question. I'm just saying, you're asking me a question about someone who has worked to transform his life, who has admitted that he is on a journey to transformation and has not been charged with anything. Has not been convicted of anything. And so if you're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition, I hope you do understand why it is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life, especially in a system that, quite frankly, has not been overly.
While Lil Durk was given the keys to some neighborhoods in Chicago and has in the past donated money to Mayor Johnson's campaign, Mayor Johnson reacted to the allegations in a way that he did not want to instantly, put Lil Durk away. And me personally, I have to say, I share similar sentiments. We don't know everything around the Lil Durk situation, right? Should we be so quick to take Lil Durk and say, that's it, these are the allegations, he's done, it's over, he's a criminal, right? You're still innocent until proven guilty. Time will tell. Another thing I thought was strange was Lil Durk actually honored FBG Duck, which is kind of the reason a lot of this, some might say, have started, some of the original causes of all this. While there have been reports that FBG Duck's mother herself sued Lil Durk for she claiming involvement for her son's murder, College Kid reports that Lil Durk honored and had a moment of silence for many Chicago fallen soldiers and included in the montage at his concert, FBG Duck, at the birthday concert. So a person that he's being sued for being responsible for.
A moment of silence for everybody when we lost in Chicago, everybody, even if your face is on here right here, still showing love. Count down.
Was Lil Durk really behind this? Is he just putting on a show, adding him just to kind of distance himself from all the allegations? Or is he truly had nothing to do with this and truly feels sorry that all this is happening? Another thing I wanted to speak about was the people who egged Durk on seem to be the same people hating him. Now, I'm not saying Lil Durk had anything to do with this, but let's just say all those slide for Vaughn comments that were on the internet and people just saying, and people again, just keyboard warriors who you have no idea who they are. They're not connected with anything. People say, slide for Vaughn. He has to retaliate. The impact of these statements go far. And it's sad how some of these comments can affect people's psychology. What is more strange is that it feels like the same people who are throw these comments out, slide for Vaughn, retaliate, are the same people now who are the ones laughing at Lil Durk for being arrested or allegedly being involved with this hit for hire. They're the ones laughing at him now. They're the ones saying, how could you do this? How could you be so stupid? How could you throw away all the success for doing something so criminal? Another thing I find interesting is that, is this just a Lil Durk takedown? Like, is he just being pinned with this? Right now, there isn't full clarity, right? We don't know right now if he has anything to do with this. If you come from the streets and you know people, those people can do things. My take is, could it be that he just happened to be involved with these and then the feds or whoever is finding a way, as maybe what they're doing with Young Thug, to take him down also, to say, Lil Durk can be connected with these people and let's get this big case to take down someone so big as Lil Durk. I don't know. What if those guys just did it? He has nothing to do with it. Maybe he eventually knew about it. Maybe, who knows? Obviously, that's a wrong thing if he didn't know. But he's not the one who put on the hit. He's not the one involved. And this is just a way to take him down. It does feel weird that someone with such success would just throw things away or be that quote unquote stupid, like have these people commit a crime under the OTF label credit cards and be texting these people back and forth. Or is this just another way to show people that it's really difficult to leave the streets, and that connection that people have is not easy to just go away. The last thing that I found interesting was how all this happened after becoming so positive. It's very ironic that Quando Rondo, who's reports that he's done with his gang affiliations, if he had any, I don't know, all alleged, but he's put away his old lifestyle. He's accepted Islam. He's talking about he's trying to put everything behind him, and he has a new song called Life Goes On. The same person who supposedly or allegedly Lil Durk is put a hit on in 2022, Lil Durk also is Muslim and has been resurfacing and reaffirming, denouncing the gang life also and becoming more positive, changing the clothes he wears, showing there's clips of him praying, and all these things are happening after the fact. Yet how ironic that he's the one being accused of putting the hit on Quando Rondo, who's also become Muslim. Now, of course, all this could have happened later and the connection just isn't there, and they both had this old street life and they both have become more positive, but the life in the past just caught up with them. But it just feels so ironic. It's so strange how all this nonsense has come to fruition after both of them have shown the semblance of becoming more positive. So how tragic. So could all this be a way to show it doesn't matter what you claim, what matters is how you live? Or was all this karma at play? Or was all this just things in the past that have just caught up with them over time?